Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Mr. Mini Painter and today I'm unboxing this beauty of a game, Batman Gotham City Chronicles. I'm very curious. It's been around for I think a couple of years now. I haven't played or seen it yet, but I love Marvel, DC, etc. Every cool superhero miniature I simply must have. So that's the reason I bought this as well. I've been painting Marvel Crisis Protocol for a while and I wanted some nice Gotham addition to my collection. And where better to start than with the best superhero around in the DC universe, to my opinion, Batman. So it's a huge box, it's a heavy box, and there are some extra expansions to this game. Let's open this baby up and see what's inside. I really like the box art. Now this is a used game. I've bought it off the internet, and so it hasn't been sealed and it's not exactly brand new, but it looks pretty good to me. So inside you have a couple of books, the rule book, which is quite an extensive rule book with a lot of gameplay in there. Look at that beautiful art in here. I'm very curious as to how this is playing this game. There is going to be a new edition probably next year. That's been a Kickstarter game which I also pre-ordered, but it's more of an RPG, and so I'm curious what the differences are and how this is going to play versus the new one coming next year. You've got a mission booklet to play different missions. I really like the addition of missions to a game. I've played it first with Marvel's zombie game. What's it called? Zombicide. Also working with missions, and it really gives a fun way of playing the game. Now there's some extras in here, an arranged marriage, also some extra cards, villain sheets, a booklet, and in here we have the minis. There is many of them. There's two versions of Catwoman, Batgirl and Batwoman. Of course, two Batmans, one of the Dark Knight Returning and the classic Batman, and Batcow. Wow. Huntress and Spoiler, Black Canary and Katana, Orphan and Bluebird, Renee Montoya, Harvey Bullock, and of course Commissioner Gordon. Azrael, there is a Batman 0 Year, a Green Arrow, a Batman Year 100, two Robins, Nightwing and Red Hood, and Duke. And there are some bystanders here, some citizens, a couple of guards, SWAT members, some different SWAT members, some drones, I'm curious about those, and a couple of GCPD. Well, that's all fun to hear, but let's see them, right? So let's open this up. They come unpainted, as always. So you see the GCPDs here. Let me put that in here, probably easier. The GCPD members in the bottom here. Some guards, the bystanders, the drones. Let's take some of those out. Some police drones. Two different GCPD members. Some of those guards here. They look pretty well. I would say that they are not that detailed as, for example, Games Workshop or let's say Marvel Crisis Protocol for that matter. I think even the Zombicide games are a bit more detailed, but these are a lot of fun to paint as well, I think. Some of these require some correction, if you see what I mean here. This one's bent a bit backwards. And when you face these kind of disfigurations, you can simply correct it by using hot water. Just pour some hot water over the parts that you want to bend back, put them into position, let them cool down, or use some cold water, and just release it, and it's in its perfect original position. Now there is, of course, some more beautiful models down here. Let's start with this one, Bat Cow. I really love this model. It's crazy. Imagine using this cow in a game. Let's see how this goes back. Something like this. Oh, beautiful Batman. And there is a couple of different stands to put him on. For example, this one. That is nice, right? And there's a smaller one. Basically, two options for the same mini. Of course, we have classic Batman here. Also needs a little bit of cleaning up. And so yeah, there are a couple of different Batmans here. But let's face it, there are so many Batman versions. You would want them all, right? The nice thing about these superheroes is the capes, the cloaks. That is always a lot of fun to paint because you can use some color differentiation in there, some gradients. It's always challenging to paint these minis because they're so tiny. These are actually not that small. I think they're, well, you can compare it to my thumb. They're probably about maybe 4 centimeters or something like that. Compared to, for example, Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings, they are so incredibly tiny. It's probably 2/3 of this. So this is going to be a little bit more easy to paint, but they are smaller than, for example, the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures. I happen to have one here as a comparison. So this is a Marvel Crisis Protocol model of Daredevil. And when you compare the miniatures, well, you see the difference, right? So it's still going to be challenging painting these. Well, they look quite nice. And there's tons of extra game additions to this game. So it's going to be an extreme job painting all of them. Wow, I like this one. or this one with a flaming sword. That is really nice. Now there is a second box I'm going to show you guys. Let's put this back. See if it fits. Yeah, there we go. But first, let's see the rest of the game content. Because we have a ton of cards. There is some dices. I think this is an addition, an extra dice pack. Or here it is, which was an extra thing you could order. So there's a ton of dices here. Some markers, I guess. A lot of cards. Tokens. I like that it's all in these boxes. There are some character tokens in here. A lot of cards. Some more dices. I am clueless as to what this is. Probably some more tokens. I see some freeze effects, fire effects, poison. So yeah. Of course, probably borders in the bottom, right? I see some extra cards here. Batman Trasher suit. What we see here is these character cards. For example, here Renee Montoya. It's both in English and French. And you see their stats on top. So the different kind of unique points per character. And if it's something similar to, for example, Marvel Crisis Protocol, it will involve movement, attacks, range, and speed. So here we have a board. Looks like a Bat computer. And I guess you are able to put in the tokens I showed you guys before to see what the stats of the character at a certain point in the game is. And these cards, you can place them in here, so like this. So I'm guessing you are able to play a certain character or more of them. And finally we have a huge board. It's gonna be too big to unfold the entire thing, but this goes into, let's see, 4 parts. So it's going to be 4 times this size. You unfold it like so, and a giant playboard emerges. It's double-sided, so you can play it at 2 sides here. So it's a nice big game board, this. There's 2 of them. So I'm guessing a lot of scenarios to play in this game. And that's it for the first box. But as I said, there is a second one. So let's put this back. I think it was something like this. The cards, they go back like this. And the rest we will do later. Let's remove these. Now there is a second box with the villains, because the previous one was mainly the good guys, and of course Batman or DC wouldn't be Batman or DC without a ton of villains. So let's open this baby up and see what's in here. So this has been issued in several seasons, and here it has the Versus Mode Season 2 booklet, which shows some additional gameplay, I think. There is another big game board. I just see one in this box. Also folds out into 4 parts. We've got this thing here, also a double-sided marker of sorts, and this huge display. This looks incredibly complicated, but it will probably be become easy as you go along. No, this doesn't really go here, does it? Got some markers here, probably some room for cards, a tracker, and some inlays. So yeah, very curious as to what that is about. There is a huge box of minis in here, as in addition to the box I showed you guys before. So let's put this aside and open this one up. So we've got a villain team consisting of Scarecrow, Wrath, Jason Todd, Hush, Two-Face, Red Hood, Bane, Scarecrow, so 2 different Scarecrows there. Firefly, Killer Moth, the Penguin, Harley Quinn, also 2 versions, classic Harley Quinn and the more movie-like kind we all know. Ratmaster, Mr. Freeze, the Riddler, of course, also in 2 versions. Then Raj Al Ghul, Orphan, Black Mask, Talon, the Joker. Of course, what would Batman be without the Joker? Deathstroke, Deadshot. We got Penguin's gang, there's 4 of them. 4 Owl members with katanas. 4 Owl members with handguns. Poison Ivy and Button Lou, the 2 hyenas from Harley Quinn. Then we got some carnivorous plants belonging to Poison Ivy, the Riddler's gang, Bloom's gang, some brutes, Harley Quinn's gang, some thugs with a crowbar, Riddler's gang with handguns, hazmat thugs, prisoners, Red Hood gangs, thugs, brutes. So there's a lot to go around here. And we got the bigger guys on the sides, Man-Bat, Clayface, Tusk, Solomon Grundy, Bane, but then the venom-injected Bane. Mr. Bloom, Killer Croc, 2 versions of Killer Croc, and Dr. Death. Well, doesn't that sound cozy? Let's open it up and see what this is like. Oh wow, this is a lot. So all of the thugs are above. I'm going to show you some. For example, these plants, Poison Ivy's plants. Some thugs with guns. Yeah, there is so much of those guys in here. The Riddler gang. And prisoners wielding a baton. Let's see what's below. So here are the villains of the game. The big ones over here. And we've got some ornaments, I guess, computers and stuff. Let's start with these. Show you guys what's in there. So you got a control panel, a couple of them. It's So you can make some nice computers. There is a big safe. That looks nice. There is some boxes with TNT and stuff in there. Some bombs, some panels. Yeah, so that's that. Look at these two. The two hyenas. So there is a ton of these in here. A ton of villains, that is. There are a couple of these guys. Now there is some guys, I was wondering about this, but I'm guessing this goes together, like so. So they shoot kind of a web or a net to catch someone. So yeah, let's put that back there. Look at these. Raj Al Ghul, I guess. There is so much to choose from. I like these games mainly because I love painting. And these, of course, are so colorful bunch, such a colorful bunch to paint. I started painting with Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings, and even though they are beautiful and the miniatures are so incredibly detailed, they are usually quite dull, as in color, if you know what I mean. And the fun part with these villains is that you can use very bright colors. I did some Harry Potter painting, some Marvel Crisis Protocol, and you use very bright colors to these models, which is a lot of fun to do if you are used to those monotone armies, those dark armies. Whoops, I'm dropping them here. Well, you gotta love him, right? The Joker. Look at this one. It's Mr. Freeze with his cold gun. The Penguin, what a classic character he is. And of course, Harley Quinn wielding her huge hammer. Yeah, so there is a lot of them in here. Bane, I'm guessing this is Firefly? Not really sure. This one I love. Look at that. That is really well done. Let's take some of the big ones out. Let's take all of the big ones out. That is huge. This is probably going to be the easiest paint job because he's one color, right? With some shades. So here we have Solomon Grundy. Born on a Monday. They are really stuck in there. We've got the venom-injected Bane. croc. Is it croc? I'm not sure. Let's take a look. I'm guessing, yeah, it's Killer Croc. These are very nice. And this big guy here, the Man Bat. And who is this dude jammed in here? He's really stuck. There we are. Very, very nice. So, I'm probably gonna need a couple of years to paint these. So, I'm very curious as to how this game is gonna play out. But mainly I love collecting them. I love painting them. And I actually rarely play because you need a lot of time to invest in these kind of games. First of all, to learn the rules. Secondly, to do it and to find the time to actually play these scenarios. But they can be a lot of fun. So let's give this a try, and yeah, maybe in one future video I'll tell you guys what I think about it. For now, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be posting some of the expansions as well as I'm gathering them. So I hope this was fun to watch. Let me know if you have ever played this game or what you think about it. And I would really like to hear from you. So for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in one of my future videos. And that's it for now. Bye-bye.